Hi there, I'm John from CNCKing.com, and today we're going to make Simon a bedroom wall sign. When it comes to custom fabrication, I can literally make anything out of anything. In this case here, Simon's going to have a new wall sign once he pops out. And because he's going to be trilingual, the sooner he gets used to Chinese characters, French and English, the sooner it will be for him to sort of organize it properly in his head. So he might not speak for the first 5 or 6 years, but once he starts talking, he'll probably never shut up in any language that he wishes to speak. Now this is just regular MDF. You can see in the back here, and it's all laser cut. So the nice thing about the laser, unlike any other machine I have here in the shop, other than the water jet, is that you can have very precise cuts, and you can easily do inlays, which is what I did here. So everything is precisely fit, and everything fits perfectly, and I don't actually have any glue for any of this, and you notice nothing falls down. Now the reason for that is because I use double-sided tape. So before we get too far into it, let's take a look at the laser cutting out all the first layer of this sign. Now you might be thinking, great, now I could do the laser engraving or the cutting for the bottom part and start painting right away and let the machine do the work while I'm not there. That's a really bad idea. I have 4 friends who burned down their shop doing things like that. So whenever I'm laser cutting here in the shop, or water jet cutting, or CNC routering, or plasma cutting, doesn't matter what machine I use, I'm always right next to it. Because if something happens, things go from okay to really bad really, really fast. So in this case here, you can see there's 2 layers to it. So you can see the first layer is what we just cut with the laser, and the second layer is what you see here with just a double-sided tape. Now the reason why I use double-sided tape is for 2 reasons. Number 1, using glue with inlays is a little bit tricky because sometimes the glue comes back up where there's a small little space because there's just by capillary action and when it dries. Also, whenever you use glue on something like this here, it tends to maybe bring it up. So it's a little bit more challenging, and it also takes a long time to dry because everything's so well enclosed. There's not much oxygen or air going into the sign to dry up the glue. Using double-sided tape is incredibly strong. I use industrial double-sided tape, not this typical stuff you find at the craft store. And the reason I use that is because it's incredibly strong. I've done a ton of signs with it and nothing's ever fallen apart on me. So what we'll do now with the laser is we'll cut out the back side. So now it's time to stick everything together. The hardest part about this whole design process was actually choosing the color scheme. I'm guessing for children their eyesight isn't really the best, and that includes contrast. So as a result, I changed my color scheme a couple of times and I came up on just black and yellow and red and a mirror finish. But the mirror doesn't really come out very good on the video. But basically you put your finger here and you can sort of see your finger reflected back. So at a very far distance you can see it perfectly. Up close, you see it perfectly as well. When it comes to custom signage, my company can literally make a sign out of anything for anything. So let's say you wanted a 20-foot sign out of mild steel that was powder coated, we can do that for you. We can water jet cut, which is great for metals. We can plasma cut, which again is great for metals. Laser cut, which is good for everything else, and CNC router. So we have a lot of flexibility when it comes to material. We can also mix and match. Now for this sign specifically, there's a couple of reasons why I went with MDF. Though this does have a bit of heft to it, if it falls off the wall and hits Simon in the head, he won't die from this. If I made it out of 3/4 inch mild steel, that'd chop him in half. Now for the signage like this here, it's for interior use. I would never use MDF for exterior use because once humidity gets to it, it starts to expand. So it doubles in size but halves in value. And so when it comes to making custom signage, contact me at CNCKing.com and we'll make it for you.